Okay, I'm sorry for that. I think I had a bit of a network issue. Okay, so um, I know most people would be asking who is Intensify, what does Intensify do? So just to give us a brief introduction about who and what Intensify is before we delve right into the session for the morning. Intensify is an edtech with a major driving focus to impact young individuals who would like to, upskill themselves in the area of technology. So we are basically an edtech in simpler terms. We're an edtech that offers tech skills to individuals who would like to, be knowledgeable in the tech area and basically just upskill themselves. And we all know the trend of technology now, which is the AI, artificial intelligence, introduction. And so, major areas in the workspace are implementing the AI features to enhance and improve their productivity at work. And so, this is the reason for the session we are having this morning. So, just for so that we don't waste much time, I'd like to introduce our first speaker for the morning, who by name is Omoye Raima. She is a human resource professional with over 10 years of experience. 10 years of experience spanning across talent acquisition, strategic HR, business partnering, as well as talent management, people service, employee experience, HR strategy, organizational development, banking operation, and customer service. So, Omoye Brima has led a team. She's currently serving as a team lead for talent acquisition, HR, business partnering, and HR operations at Nova Bank, Nigeria. Omoye brings a rare blend of strategic foresight, operational excellence, and people centric leadership. She has played a pivotal role in the bank's transition from a merchant bank to a commercial bank. If we are all in lieu of the news now, at least we all know that Nova Bank has transitioned from being a merchant bank to now being a commercial bank. So, leading critical talent acquisition initiative that supported this transformation. So, prior to Nova Bank, she was a human resource business partner at the United Bank for Africa, popularly known as the UBA Bank, where she supported key strategic units including information technology, information security, group operations, and the customer fulfillment center. Omoyen's contribution to the HR profession have earned her notable recognition in the HR Rising Star Award, courtesy HR Expo Africa 2025. Also, the HR Spotlight Award, courtesy HR Talent Hub, which was in the year 2024. Her career is marked by a consistent ability to design and implement high impact HR strategies that drive business performance and foster a culture of excellence. She is widely respected for her analytical depth, collaborative spirit, and unwavering commitment aligning people's structure with business goals. She is the founder of Sourcing Hive, an HR service hub that partners with SMEs and tech startups to drive growth through strategic people solution. She also leads Career Hive, a career development platform dedicated to empowering young professionals to unlock their potentials. More than a manager of processes, Omoye is a builder of team, a nurturer of talent, and a catalyst for transformation. Her leadership style is defined by empathy, clarity, and relentless pursuit of improvement. She leads with a heart and purpose, creating workplaces where people thrive. She also serves as an ambassador for the role of women in emerging leading economies, championing inclusive growth and leadership. So, with a virtual clapping ovation, please welcome Omoye Brima.
Thank you, Intensify Africa. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. I see that the number is increasing by the time. Thank you so much, Intensify, for this opportunity to be one of the facilitators for this very insightful topic that is that we can relate with as HR practitioners and HR enthusiasts. So I would implore us to share the link across all our platforms. Let's even, if you're an HR professional, even if you're not an HR professional, I'm sure there's one or two things that you can learn from our discussion today, because there's AI in every work and every walks of life, every endeavor that each of us are in. So thank you. Let us share it far and wide. Thank you so much again for the introduction. That is overwhelming. And I'm glad that I could be a part of this today. So without wasting much of our time, we spent some time. Apologies that we're starting a bit later than the scheduled time. We just start right away. Fola, my partner in growth, can you please share? Can you help me with my slides? So let me see if I can share from my end.
You share. You should be able to share. Click on the share button and share.
I need to be enabled.
Okay.
You can just help me share from your end. That would be perfect.
Okay, try it now.
Yes.
Can you share now?
I think so. Let's just go to the beginning of the slide. Please, I would need you to help me confirm when you can see my screen.
It's okay.
Thank you. Okay, content and sure. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, we
Well, I
can.
think you should help me share from your end. That would make the experience better.
Put it on slideshow. We can see your screen. Put it on slideshow.
Great. How is it now?
Perfect.
Great. Okay. Let me take this out. Thank you again. Thank you so much, guys, for the opportunity to be here today. My name is Omoya Brima, and I've been introduced as one of the panel members or facilitators for today's training. Today, we're going to be looking at generative AI, artificial intelligence in human resources, and L&D. I know we all know AI. We know what AI has come to do. And as HR professionals or upcoming HR professionals or even professionals, we are not oblivious of the role of AI in this now of work. And it's so interesting that AI has transitioned from what we know it to be, like say 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, to what it is now. So we're going to be looking at what AI has, the transformation of AI from what it was to what it is now, and how AI is helping HR professionals, how HR professionals are leveraging AI to ensure operational efficiency, reduce their time on operational tasks and focusing more on strategic actions. So so we're going to be looking at we're going to introduce what AI is, obviously, what Gen AI is, the benefit of Gen AI in L&D and HR. We're going to be looking at the fundamentals, the difference between Gen AI and traditional AI. We're going to be looking at the application of Gen AI in HR, performance management. We're going to be looking at data sources. We're going to be looking at the challenges of implementing AI in HR and L&D. Okay, what is even Gen AI? What are the tasks that HR professionals are exposed to? And how will Gen AI help HR professionals? How will HR professionals leverage AI to carry out their activities? And then we're going to be looking at the ethical considerations and data privacy when it comes to AI conversation. So this is the introduction slide. Gen AI, generative AI. So I'm going to be using more of Gen AI, okay? Gen AI means generative AI, is a branch of artificial intelligence that focuses on creating new content. The early days of AI, it is largely known to give you feedback on what you feed in. So it's not creating something new, something novel, something original. It is what you put in, the data you put in, that's what it just generate back for you. But Gen AI is the advanced level of artificial intelligence that is now focusing on creating new content. So you can put in your request, which in AI Palace is called prompt, and ask it to generate something new for you. So having to understand that Gen AI is that branch of AI that is helping individuals to create new content. How then are we applying it to HR? That's our conversation today. It has many applications in various domains. You can apply Gen AI in entertainment, education, health, and business. Okay, it covers basic concepts, methods, tools, and ethical issues, as well as practical examples and case studies. So what I'm going to do today is to bring us to the world of Gen AI, tell us the history, tell us what it is, tell us how it is applied, how we can apply it in HR and L&D, the challenges of applying them, what are the challenges that HR professionals, organizations face in applying or implementing Gen AI in their activities. And then my co-facilitator would give us a deep dive into how we can now use these tools for our different HR and L&D functions, okay? So we also, the essence of this training as well is for learners and practitioners seeking to have a comprehensive understanding of Gen AI to say, okay, so I have an understanding of Gen AI and how you can apply it in L&D and HR. So this is going to be like an overview of what we're going to be discussing today, okay? So Gen AI in L&D and HR gives personalized and adaptive learning content and experience. We explained that Gen AI is that branch of artificial intelligence that focuses on creating new content. So the conversation today is that with Gen AI, you can create personalized and adaptive learning content and experiences if you're an L&D professional. If you're a professional in training and development and you have to rack your brain, you have to do a lot of research in coming up with your learning content, your learning programs, your curriculum. I was saying that today that with Gen AI, the world has transitioned. The world has moved from that era to say that with Gen AI, you can create personalized and adaptive learning content. You can create novel, diversive learning and work scenarios and simulations. It could help you with high quality and engaging learning and work materials. It could support your creativity, innovation in learning. It could help you improve efficiency and productivity in learning and work tasks. So what are the benefits of Gen AI in L&D and HR? One is, we've explained it, is that it could create personalized and adaptive learning content. Gen AI can help you create an adaptive and learning experience for both the learners and then your employees. So as an HR professional that is tasked with learning and development or training and development, and you've created your training plan for the year, right? And then you're at the point of implementation. Based on the feedback you're getting from the employees on their learning experience, right? Gen AI can help you analyze the feedback that you're getting per training program and create personalized, like individual. So if, let's say you have a workforce of 20 people, this is hypothetically, and obviously we have different personalities, we have different people, human beings are different, right? Gen AI is able to create a learning program for employee A, create a learning program for employee B, to the extent that it will speak to the personality and the person of employee A, right? Giving it that personalized approach. Okay, another thing it can do is that it can create something new, something novel, something original, right? Creating work scenarios and a whole lot of training and assessment. So I don't want to dwell so much on this because we would see that in the course of our training. But we should know that Gen AI is here to stay and is disrupting how we do our work in HR and in L&D. So I would employ us to have an open mind, ready to learn, ready to unlearn, so that we can glean from the benefit of Gen AI. However, despite Gen AI having so much benefit, right? What are the risks? Which is why some organizations are a bit skeptical in, adopting AI or Gen AI, as the case may be, in their day-to-day activities because of the challenges that are associated with Gen AI. One of it is ensuring quality, accuracy, and relevance of generated content. Recall that we said that Gen AI can help us generate personalized learning programs, novel content. But how are we sure that that data or that content is accurate? That is one of the challenges of and the risk of using Gen AI, because trust me, despite that artificial intelligence is amazing, there could also be a part where you have to reconfirm. And we're going to look at the need not to over rely on AI. We would also explore that AI is not taking our jobs as HR professionals. I think we need to establish that AI is there to enhance what we do. There is need for human oversight, even if you're using Gen AI for your task in HR. Another challenge or risk is protecting privacy and security of ownership of data models, right? The data and models used and generated by Gen AI must be protected. So when you're applying this Gen AI into your work as HR at L&D, it is important that you ensure that there's data privacy, there's security, and then the ownership of data. There are securities or programs or security programs that I put in place to ensure that the data shared is protected and is secure. Another challenge or risk is that you're preventing and detecting misuse and abuse of Gen AI, right? So which is why we're having this conversation, to learn what it is, learn its benefit, learn its challenges, learn its application, know what it does for us in HR and L&D, and how we can better ensure that data is protected, and we're not, your organization data is not in the open air where other people are having access to it, okay? Another challenge of risk is addressing ethical, social, and legal implication of Gen AI. Is bias, fairness, accountability, transparency. All this must be addressed, right? If we're adopting Gen AI in L&D and HR. Another one is managing impact of Gen AI on role, skills, and attitude. How learners, how employees, our educators must continue to adapt to the impact of Gen AI in their day-to-day activities. Okay, so we're going to be looking at examples and case studies of Gen AI in L&D. We have talked about what Gen AI is. We said that Gen AI transitioned, okay, the slides transitioned from traditional AI that we're used to now creating new content, right? We've looked at the benefits of Gen AI in HR and L&D. We looked at we've seen the challenges and risk of Gen AI in HR and L&D. Now we're going to be looking at the examples and case studies of Gen AI in L&D and HR. So you're going to be seeing some terms that are associated with artificial intelligence. So we need to know them so that when you're having conversations with people and somebody is saying NLG, NLU, you will not be lost because you've heard it in this training today. So Gen AI uses what they call natural language generation, okay, to create personalized feedback and recommendations for learners and employees. So my side of this training today, just to walk you through what it is, my co-facilitator would show you how natural language generation helps to create personalized feedback and the different Gen AI platforms that we have, and how you can get a typical or an hypothetical HR case study and then use it to give your prompt, give your what you need it to do, and then get the outcome. Gen AI also use what they call, so first is the natural language generation called NLG. Another one is computer vision and generative adversarial network. Don't worry. I know it's too much to take in, but we'll take it slowly. There's what they call GANTs. GANTs is generative adversarial networks. So this helps to create realistic and diverse faces. So I'm sure we'll see on social media where we are seeing videos of people, content creators are using it to sell maybe their products, they're using it for digital marketing. I'm sure we see it everywhere. So how they are created is through GANs. They are called generative adversarial networks. It's the model of Gen AI that helps to create realistic and diverse faces and expressions, right? Which you can even use for your training for, say, emotional intelligence, for example. So it is GANs that enable that ability of Gen AI to create realistic and diverse faces. Another is text to speech or speech to text. So one thing is that Gen AI can help you create new text, new video, new audio, new content, right? The part of Gen AI that enables that text to speech or speech to text is the TTS and STT. This one helps to create audio and video transcripts and captions for accessibility and convenience. Another one is natural language understanding. So the difference between natural language generation and natural language understanding is that the former helps you to create something new, something novel, depending on the feedback you give it, right? Something that you don't already have, but based on what you feed into it, it creates something new. But understanding, analyze what you currently have and improve on it. I hope we're seeing the difference between natural language generation and natural language understanding is that the same thing with natural language understanding and processing. So the NLG helps you to generate something new, generate new content, new reports, new JDs, new HR policy, new onboarding feedback program. Well, natural language understanding and natural language processing, analyze what you currently have and improve on it. So if you have an existing policy, HR policy, you can feed it into Gen AI to say, could you analyze this, analyze the shortfalls and generate something advanced? It does it for you. But generation is, I want to create a remote work policy. I want to create something document and it generates it for you. I hope we're understanding the differences right now. Another part of Gen AI is deep learning and machine learning, right? These ones are advanced because they are intelligent learning and they are machine learning that creates more like a systematic model. So this one is like an advanced stage of NLG, NLU and NLP and even the GANs, right? So we've had a bit of understanding of Gen AI, but let us look at the history and evolution, okay? Is that Gen AI has roots in early days of computer science. If we have our scientists on the call, our computer scientists on the call, or science students on the call, I'm sure you can relate to it, right? And the pioneers are Alan, John, and Co. And then there was what they call ELIZA program in 1966. It's an example of Gen AI. And ELIZA program used pattern matching and substitution rules to mimic a psychotherapist. Okay, as at 1966. So it means that AI that we're discussing now in Nigeria, that everywhere is going gaga, right, has been in existence. Okay. Recent advances in deep learning and big data have enabled high quality and diverse output. Example is GANs that we just talked about. So GANs are the recent developments, which is part of Gen AI. And it was developed in 2014, about 11 years ago. Okay, so it shows that it is something recent, but we can see how it transitioned from 1966 to what we have today. I don't want us to dwell so much, but we know that Gen AI has been there for a while, but the scientists and then the researchers in this field have developed it over time to the extent that we have GANs. You can't talk about Gen AI without looking at key concepts and technologies. That you're not a science person. I studied economics, right? Social science, anyways, but you have to be familiar with some terms when you're talking about AI. You have to understand some terminologies, right? Even as an HR person. And data is something that we talk about every day. HR data, right? Your employee data, attendance data, training data, recruitment data, onboarding data, talent something data. We are used to data. So it is no different from what we have in Gen AI. So data in Gen AI is the raw material that is given to Gen AI to create new data. And data could be structured or unstructured. This training is not for us to go into data analysis. I'm not here to talk to us about structured query language, SQL. But for us to have understanding that these are terminologies and concepts that Gen AI uses. And like I said, data is the raw material. It could be anything. Data could be anything. It could be structured or unstructured. Model is a mathematical representation of data to show patterns and relationships. And it's usually use GANs, like we mentioned. We'll get into it, okay? Then training is the process of adjusting model, right, to fit into data, right? The other part of it is showing the types of the training that. So this concept is embedded in Gen AI. There's data, there's model, data, the raw material, model, the representation of that data, right, to learn patterns and relationship. And then training is adjusting that model to fit the data. And then evaluation is the process of measuring model performance and output quality to say the model that you have defined and then the output that you have, what's the desired and the expected, that is evaluation, which we know about performance evaluation, right? So it's no different from AI, but they are concepts, and these are for the people at the back end. We've talked about the history of AI, that how it transitioned from 1966 to what we have now. But there's what they call traditional AI. So the difference between Gen AI and traditional AI is that traditional AI produces output that belongs to predefined set of classes or rules. So it means that the classes, the rules, the data must have been predefined, must have been existing, right? So it will produce an output that belongs to something that you have defined that is existing. But Gen AI produces something novel. Novel means original, right? And realistic output, and is relatable. Traditional, that is in the input-output relationship. Data requirement, we know we talked about data. We said it could be structured or unstructured or what have you. Traditional AI requires the data to be labeled, requires the data to be structured, right? Requires the data to have all the requirements stated for supervised learning. But Gen AI, you can use unstructured data, unlabeled data. You can even use it for unsupervised learning, meaning that Gen AI is the advanced level of traditional AI. Model complexity. Traditional AI uses simpler and linear models, while Gen AI uses more complex and nonlinear models. Application domain. Traditional AI is suitable for classification, regression, and prediction. But Gen AI is suitable for generation, synthesis, and augmentation, which is where we come in as HR professionals, because really, we also need AI to predict, right, trends, attrition trends, and what have you. But we also need it to generate something novel and new for us. Now we're going to be looking at the application. I hope I'm not boring us with so many terminologies. I'm an HR professional, but I also needed to learn, so that I could speak the language of AI. It's important that we are fluent and literate in AI. Okay, and it's something everybody can come on board to learn and be part of. Okay, application of Gen AI, learning and development, for instance, is that it can help you to create something new and original, right? For instance, it can create a new text for you. It can create a new image, a new video, a new audio. And that it helps with the improvement of skills and knowledge of individuals and organizations, because it is creating something new for you, something that you're not exposed to. You are now exposed to another set of information, another set of knowledge, another set of skills, another set of abilities. In HR, we call it KSAs, knowledge, skills, abilities. That's what Gen AI does for you as a learning and development expert. And if you are able to apply Gen AI in your work, you'll be like a star in your organization, because you're just dishing something new. Like, I've not seen this before. Oh, this image, this program, this document, this curriculum, it's new. We've not seen it before. It's Gen AI. And because you are applying it, right, it's helping you to improve your skills of yourselves as individuals as well as your organization. Hopefully, your organization is also a learning organization. So we're still looking at the application of AI, Gen AI in L&D, is that Gen AI can help analyze a learner's profile, a learner's interests, and a learner's learning history, then generate a sequence of courses, activities, and assessment. Send AI to work, send Gen AI to work, let it help you do all this programming, all this development, so that you can focus on the strategic things as a learning and development expert. So it means that Gen AI, we talked about the example of an organization that has like 20 employees, right? And then we put employee A, B, and C. Gen AI can analyze employees learner's profile, especially if you have an LMS, or even though it's Excel that you're using to run your training plan, it's fine. And you have those feedback imputed. It can analyze that data that you feed it in, and then say employee A, this is employee A proposed courses. These are the activities that employee A would take, and these are the assessment, because it has analyzed employees A profile, right? You can see how it uses both structured and unstructured data to generate something new. It could also adapt learning path to learner's pace, style, and preferences. We talked about personalized learning paths. Gen AI can do that for you, which is why I said it is personalized. No two individuals are the same. So Gen AI is that intelligent to differentiate between employee A and employee B, and then develop learning programs that can fit the learner style, pace, and preference. Okay, it can also update the learning path based on performance, progress, and feedback to generate something even new, to identify the challenges and recommendation. It can increase engagement, motivation, and retention. Why not? If I work in an organization that the L&D team, in my dashboard or in my employee profile, I'm seeing programs, learning programs that fit, that is personalized to me, that is screaming on my ear, I'll be motivated and engaged, and that would eventually lead to retention for that reason, especially for people whose career goal as at that time is learning. So see how Gen AI can help you to retain your employees. Moving on, we said that Gen AI can also, Gen AI can create personalized learning paths through this means. It can also help with automated content creation, generate summaries, images, templates, allows L&D practitioners to focus on more creative and strategic aspects, okay? And allow it to deal with all those content creation for you, right? So it will help you reduce workload and the cost of hiring content creators. I'm sorry if you're a content creator on the call, sorry. It's not like we're taking your job. We're just saying that as L&D professionals and practitioners, one of the tasks we have to do is to create content, right? So instead of us outsourcing content creation to content creators, we can leverage AI, Gen AI, to do that for us. Okay. It can also help with intelligent tutoring systems, monitor learners' progress, identify learners' strengths and weaknesses, and recognize learners' needs and goals, okay, based on the personalized feedback that it can generate. Let us look at the application of Gen AI in HR. So I'm sure some of us be like, L&D is HR now. Yes, we're not separating them. They're all human resources, but L&D is a very specialized field, okay, in human resources. So let us look at the human resources part as well, which is the talent management part. And we know that HR is tasked with attracting, developing, and retaining talent. HR is is tasked with ensuring a positive and productive work environment. So how will you leverage AI to get to this point, to attract? How we use AI, Gen AI to attract? How we use Gen AI to develop? We looked at it in L&D. How will you use Gen AI to also retain your talent? How will you use Gen AI to create a positive and productive work environment without losing the essence of your being as an HR department and as an organization? We talked about the challenges, right? Bias, fairness, ensuring that the feedback or output of Gen AI is free of bias, is fair, it is accountable, there is data privacy and all that. All of this together. I'm sure as HR, I think recruitment is like the senior canon of HR, an HR professional. That's the first thing. If you're an HR person, that means your recruitment is built, right? So Gen AI can help you create realistic and diverse job description. We said that Gen AI can create new content, right? Meaning that it can also help you create job description that is very realistic and it is new, specific to the role you are looking at. It can also help you to generate personalized and engaging recruitment messages to fit to candidate profile and history. It can help you to screen resumes and cover letters. It can also help you to create realistic and interactive simulation like job interviews, like assessment center, right? In my organization now, we're looking at using Gen AI to, enhance our graduate training program. Okay. In employee onboarding and training, we've talked about the training. We've talked about training, so I really don't want to dwell on it. But the part I want to talk about a bit is creating immersive and gamified learning experience for your employee onboarding, right? We know that onboarding is when some new employees define or determine if they want to stay in your organization or not. Gen AI can help you improve that experience for them. Performance management. Gen AI can help to create smart and dynamic goals. Gen AI can use, remember we talked about natural language generation and natural language understanding to create and communicate goals for employees. So the generative part of it generates the goals, and the understanding part of it communicates it so that there's an understanding, right? It can also help us to analyze our existing goals and suggest updates. It can generate actionable or constructive feedback, okay, using this NLG and NLU. It can provide recommendations and suggestions for improvement. It can create realistic and fair performance reviews. So our performance management people on the call, see how Gen AI can also help you become an effective performance management. Reduce all this paperwork, because I know we're approaching end of the year. We are going to be looking at end of year appraisals. It's always a very busy time, but why disturb yourself so much? Why worry when you can use Gen AI to your advantage, okay? To minimize all this manual work, all these moving papers around. With your Excel, put it in Gen AI, tell you what you want it to do, and it to do it for you, okay? We can also use Gen AI in employee engagement and retention. It can help you to create engaging recognition program and reward system. Can help you have personalized messages, help to facilitate social interaction among employees, and identify employees' needs, preferences, and concerns. So I'll talk briefly on challenges of implementing AI in HR and L&D. One of the challenges is how do we integrate AI to existing systems? That is one challenge, right? How do we?
Use that one.
Fala?
Oh, apology.
Okay. One of the challenges of implementing AI as HR professional is how then do we now integrate AI to our existing systems? How do we integrate it? What do we need to do? Another one is how then do we engage stakeholders? How do we get management buy-in? How do we get employees buy-in in implementing AI? How do we build our AI capabilities as an organization, as an HR professional? How do we train and upskill ourselves in this AI that we're talking about? How then do we ensure ethical consideration, compliance in AI implementation? Okay, so I'm not going to dwell so much on this data collection and analysis in AI. We talked about some of the concepts in AI. Data is one of it. Data is the currency of the century, right? So you look at data collection, you are acquiring data, you are storing data, you're organizing data from different sources. You're also analyzing data using machine learning and models. We talked about it early in the conversation. Okay, so how do you now build AI capabilities within your organization? I'm going to be very swift with this, is that you must assess the need for AI and the gap in your organization. Before we look at organization, as an individual, let us start with ourselves as an individual. I had a conversation with a founder 2 weeks ago, and it was like, oh my, have you done your audit gap? Sorry, have you done your skill gap or skill audit, right? To say, what do you have currently? What do you desire to have? What are the gaps and how do you want to meet this gap? As an individual, you also tell yourself, where are you? Are you just using ChatGPT for all your AI things? There is more to do with AI than ChatGPT. And that we are going to see it very briefly in the course of this training. So assess your AI need and the gap as an individual as well as an organization. Then you start to design and implement AI programs, learning programs. Come for sessions like this. Sign up with Intensify to train and learn, right? To get those capabilities. And then you start creating and fostering an AI culture, right? And mindsets within your organization. And then one way you can conduct a skill audit, you can develop AI courses or certifications. You can then ensure that you can start with a small committee within your team, even within HR. Let's call it HR and AI in HR committee. Incorporate 1 or 2 persons from other departments, do your strategy document, send it to your management. But by then, you as an HR person, you have built your capabilities. Okay. How well do you train and upskill yourself as an HR person is that you have to identify, understand the AI opportunities and challenges for HR. We've talked about it, but you learn more of it. You acquire and learn AI skills and competencies in what you do, in your HR activities, in your HR tasks. You learn AI literacy. You are aware about HR. You are fluent. You are aware of the tools and how to use it. You are collaborating with AI experts. You are going for sessions. You are joining communities like this. You are reading articles on LinkedIn. My colleague Fola did a post on LinkedIn recently on this AI. You can read articles like that, engage with people, ask questions, okay? Even the people in tech, the developers, you can ask questions, be involved in AI projects. That's how you upskill and collaborate. And then, attend AI events like this and even on a larger platform. Join AI communities. Intensify is giving that opportunity to us, right? We talked about the challenge. One of it is ethical consideration and data privacy, okay, which is one of the major challenges why some organizations are skeptical in adopting Gen AI in their work. Fine. Just ensure that whatever we're doing, we're ensuring data privacy. So you're not working in silos, you're working with your guys in information security to manage and protect your data. Ensure that you're compliant with different regulation. There is the National Data Protection Act or something. You are mitigating bias. You are promoting transparency and accountability, and you're ensuring governance, covering AI policy. All of us have our HR processes, HR policies, and SOPs. Ensure that you're not deviating from it, even when you're using AI. How then do you measure the impact of AI in L&D? Is that for L&D, how is it enhancing learner experience? How is it improving employee engagement? How is it increasing efficiency of your process? How is it helping you to reduce costs and risk? That is how you can. And if you're having discussion with your management on how you can adopt AI in your work, these are the things you put, and you put data. You can give a trend. You can even predict to say, if we adopt this, it will help us to increase employee engagement by something percent. We will reduce costs in our learning budget, training budget. I know how my colleague used to fight our finance people on training budget, right? To say, okay, if we do Gen AI, our training budget will reduce from this to this. This is the amount if you start infusing this statistics and data in your conversation with the relevant stakeholders, you might get a buy-in. Okay, ensure that the AI solutions or services that you are in, all of these things I'm saying, is that it aligns with your organizational goals and values. So you cannot bring an AI solution that is like this different or deviate deviate from your, or is deviating from your organizational goals and objectives. So you must ensure alignment. That is why we are business partners, right? We are HR business partners. We're ensuring that whatever HR solutions we are bringing on board is in line with strategic goals, and that this AI is delivering on the expected outcome and benefit. How then can you measure? You can, like I said, there are different ways to measure impact of AI on your L&D and HR function by setting SMART goals, right? By ensuring that it aligns with the organizational goals and value, and then you can have input, output, outcome, and impact. You can use this, do a screenshot if you want to create KPIs for AI, and then able to sell the conversation of AI. So to close, because I know I'm racing against time, so I'm just going to do a few minutes on this, is that AI is not here to take our jobs, so don't be scared. I'm sure I've been able to expose you a bit to what Gen AI can do for us in HR and in learning and development. So you can see that it is like a partner and not something that is taking over your job entirely. It could take over some tasks, some activities in HR, but it is not taking your job as an HR professional, because there is still need to have a human oversight, even in AI. So Gen AI is a game changer for HR because it enables personalization, efficiency, and data-driven decisions. But the thing is that ethics and compliance must remain at the core of our implementation. Okay. And human plus AI collaboration is the future of talent and learning. So AI can help you create new content, create onboarding experience, generate employee engagement activity, help you to generate smart goals. But AI would not help you have that conversation with your candidate. It will not help you to see if this person is a culture fit as such, because it might not really see the nuances that you are seeing as an individual. It will not help you to drive your HR strategy as such when it comes to the human interaction. AI is not the one that will speak to your management about the HR strategy of your organization, but it can help you enhance the activities and efforts for you to be engaged to have that discussion, or for you to be empowered rather to have that discussion. So what do we need to do? Start small. I've said so many things, but pick one part of your HR function to say, okay, you say, as an HR professional, I want to leverage AI in my recruitment and talent acquisition activity, right? And use the different AI platforms, the ChatGPT, the Julius, I'm not supposed to say that. My colleague will say that, and say, okay, I want to use Gen AI to enhance my efficiency and operational efficiency in my recruitment. Let me just start, and then I scale. Or in L&D, okay, I want to use Gen AI to generate new content or new training programs or new curriculum. And then you start small and you scale. Identify one HR or L&D process as an AI pilot project. Upskill your teams, commit to AI literacy, adaptability, building, right? Come for programs like this, sign up with institutes that are offering these trainings, right? Then you champion responsible AI, adopt an ethics framework for fairness and transparency, that you are adopting Gen AI in your HR, you're upskilling your team, but you're also ensuring that you are doing responsible AI. Okay, so AI won't replace HR, okay, but it would empower HR to create more human experiences. It would empower AI to be a strategic business partner for the business. It will empower AI to have a seat at the table. It will empower AI to be fluent and be relevant, because these conversations are not just happening in Nigeria, but in the world. On that note, I say thank you so much for allowing me to speak. And, I hope I've been able to give an introduction to what Gen AI is and how it can help us as HR professionals, and how we should be open to learning and, joining communities like this, having collaboration with people who are fluent in AI, and seeing how we can champion responsible AI in our organizations. On that note, I say thank you, and we go to the next session. Thank you. Let me stop sharing. Hello?
Well done. Hello.
Oh, amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. So thank you so much, Omoye. Thank you. That was an insightful session. Though I'm
Thank
not
you.
an HR practitioner, I'm not an HR personnel.